Ria Chatterjee reporting. Well, joining me live now, I hope, from Tel Aviv is Eilon Levy, an Israeli government spokesman. Welcome to the program, Mr. Levy. I'm glad we've sorted out the technical issues. The people that we've spoken to, including those in the Israeli army, including at the moment, actually, waiting to go into Gaza in this very, difficult moment, are so critical of your boss, Prime Minister Netanyahu, are so critical of the intelligence and security failures that led to the atrocious attacks a week ago. What can you say to them to reassure them as they march into the Gaza Strip?
You are right to speak of the absolutely atrocious massacre that took place last week. I think it was rather difficult to understand from the report we just saw of the enormous protests on the streets of London supporting Hamas that Israel suffered the single worst massacre of Jews since the Holocaust last week and the world's worst terror attack in world history after only 9/11. Israel is a country that is still in shock. It's a country that is grieving, mourning, and it's a country that has come together in an extraordinary way to help to support this effort and make sure that we bring our captives home, make sure that we end Hamas so it can no longer carry out such atrocities. Again, there will be a time for learning lessons. Israel is already learning lessons, and I'm sure that, as we've done many times in the past, after the war, after we've picked up all the pieces, we will understand exactly what went wrong and how to move forward. But for now, the country is focusing on one thing: victory in this war, a war forced on us, a force we will win, so that Hamas can never again perpetrate such atrocities.
Right. But the soldiers that we've spoken to, Israeli soldiers, reservists, are also saying to us very clearly that they wouldn't be in this position. They wouldn't have to risk their lives if the government had done its job properly.
You are right. There is a lot of anger in the country at the failures that led to the atrocities of last week. The Israeli National Security Advisor went on television just an hour ago and said, yes, the state did not step up to the plate. There were failures, and we're going to learn the lessons. But the time for learning lessons will come. At the moment, Israel is still fighting to repel the attack from Hamas, a terrorist organization that fired rockets at us just as we were about to go on air, forcing us to evacuate the studio. This is a terrorist organization that still holds over 120 Israelis, from babies only a few months old to women over the age of 80 in captivity. We do not know their condition. We want them back. We want them back immediately. We want them back unconditionally. And we're determined to make this a war that will end Hamas's military presence in the Gaza Strip so that it can never perpetrate such crimes against humanity ever again.
Right. No one sensible questions the right of the state of Israel to defend itself. But people are questioning, including in this country, whether Israel has the right to break international humanitarian law as it bombs civilians in the Gaza Strip and is about to march in.
I'll answer that loaded question. Israel has a right, not only a right, but a duty to defend itself against this atrocity. That's a right and a duty that's been recognized by the international community. And it's a right and a duty that, as President Biden said this week, if the United States faced a similar atrocity, it would respond in a way that is swift, decisive, and overwhelming. And that is exactly how Israel is responding, in a way that is swift, decisive, and overwhelming. We are doing what we can to minimize civilian casualties on the other side. That is why Israel is asking residents of northern Gaza to get out of the combat zones. By the way, the Israeli military just in the last hour released photographic evidence showing that Hamas has set up roadblocks along the main streets in the Gaza Strip to stop Gazan civilians from evacuating. Israel is doing everything it can so that the civilians of Gaza will live, while Hamas is doing everything it can to make sure they die and martyr themselves for the perverse cause of jihad.
Okay. I'm afraid we've run out of time. Thank you very much for coming on the program, Eilon Levy.
Thank you very much for having me here.